Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. You know that moment when a cartoon character speaks and suddenly they become real? That's not magic. It's the incredible talent of voice actors. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the voices that bring our favorite animated characters to life, exploring the artistry behind the microphone, and discovering how these performers shape the characters we love.
And what a fascinating world it is. You know, voice acting is really this unique blend of technical skill and pure creativity that most people never get to see.
Let's start with someone who's basically a legend in the industry, Tara Strong. Can you tell us about her impact?
Oh, Tara Strong is just incredible. She started her acting career at just 13 years old in Toronto, and she's gone on to voice over 1,300 characters across nearly 500 different titles.
Wait, over 1,300 characters? That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, and what's really impressive is the range. She's voiced everyone from Timmy Turner in The Fairly OddParents to Raven in Teen Titans, Bubbles in the Powerpuff Girls, and Twilight Sparkle in My Little Pony.
That's such a diverse set of characters. How do voice actors manage to create such distinct voices?
It's all about mastering different techniques, pitch, tone, rhythm, and emotional delivery. These actors have to be incredibly versatile.
Speaking of versatility, let's talk about Tabitha St. Germain. She's got quite an interesting background, right?
Oh yeah, her story is fascinating. She actually attended private schools in South Africa while her father worked there, and she made her first stage appearance at age 8 as Tiny Tim in A Christmas Carol.
That's such a different path into voice acting than what you might expect.
Absolutely. And she went on to win a Dora Award in 1995 for her performance in the Stephen Sondheim musical Assassins before transitioning to voice work.
It's interesting how many voice actors come from theater backgrounds. Does that stage experience help with voice work?
Definitely. The emotional range and character development skills you learn in theater are crucial for voice acting. It's all about bringing characters to life, just through different means.
Let's talk about the technical side. How has recording technology changed the industry?
Well, we've come a long way from the analog days. Back then, much of the magic had to be captured live in a single take. Now, digital technology allows for much more precision and experimentation.
That must give actors more freedom to try different approaches.
Exactly. They can play with vocal effects and nuances in ways that weren't possible before, but it's still all about that core performance ability.
Speaking of performance, let's talk about Phil Lollar. He's been both in front of and behind the microphone, right?
Yes, Phil's career is really remarkable. He started performing at age 5 and then went on to co-create Adventures in Odyssey, writing over 200 episodes and directing more than 300.
That's an incredible body of work.
And he didn't stop there. He also developed Jungle Jam and Friends the Radio Show and worked on The Wobulous World of Dr. Seuss, which was nominated for Emmy Awards.
It really shows how voice acting can lead to other creative opportunities in the industry.
Absolutely. Many voice actors end up wearing multiple hats, writing, directing, producing. It gives them a unique perspective on the whole process.
Let's talk about the casting process. How do producers choose voice actors for new shows?
Well, it's quite a detailed process. The casting director works with producers and creative executives to create a list of potential talent based on the character's needs.
Do they usually have a specific sound in mind?
Often they do. They might reference existing characters, saying things like, "We want something like this character from that show." But they're also open to being surprised by unique interpretations.
That must be both exciting and challenging for the actors.
It is. And what's really interesting is that the voice track serves as a guideline for the animators. If the performance isn't strong, even the best animation can't save it.
So the voice really is the foundation of the character.
Exactly. That's why casting is such a crucial step in the production process.
Let's talk about union versus non-union work. That's a big factor in casting, right?
Huge. Most professional voice actors are Screen Actors Guild members, and they're prohibited from working on non-union shows. It really affects who you can cast.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that aspect.
Yeah, it's one of those behind-the-scenes factors that can really impact a production's choices.
Let's circle back to the actual performance. What makes a great voice actor stand out?
It's really about emotional range and authenticity. The best voice actors can shift between emotions within a single line while staying true to the character.
That must take incredible control.
Absolutely. And they need to maintain that consistency across multiple recording sessions, sometimes over years for long-running shows.
Speaking of long-running shows, how do voice actors keep their voices healthy?
It's a combination of technique and care. They have to be really mindful of their vocal health, especially when doing multiple characters or intense emotional scenes.
I imagine it can be quite demanding physically.
Oh yeah, voice acting is much more physical than people realize. You're often using your whole body to create the right sound and emotion.
That's fascinating. Let's talk about the future of voice acting. How is technology changing things?
Well, digital tools are definitely expanding what's possible, but the core skills, emotional delivery, character consistency, timing, those remain essential.
So technology enhances rather than replaces the human element?
Exactly. The tools might change, but the artistry of bringing characters to life through voice, that's still very much a human skill.
What advice would you give to aspiring voice actors?
Study acting, not just voices. Understanding character motivation and emotional truth is just as important as being able to do different voices.
That's really good advice.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Some of the most memorable character voices came from actors trying something unexpected in the booth.
It really is an art form that requires both technical skill and creative freedom.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it so special, the ability to create something unique and memorable using just your voice.
As we wrap up, what do you think is the most important thing for people to understand about voice acting?
I think it's that voice actors are really the heart and soul of animated characters. They're not just reading lines, they're creating personalities that live in people's hearts for years.
That's beautiful.
And when you think about how many lives these performances touch, how many memories they create, it's really quite remarkable.
It really is. And on that note, we'll wrap up today's episode of Copilot Podcasts. Remember, the next time you watch your favorite cartoon, take a moment to appreciate the incredible talent behind those voices.